Cole, Travis. Travis, I've known you for a while. Oh, no, of you. No, we've met a few times.
We've met a few times.
Yeah, but this is the first time we're meeting.
Yes.
And I have been thoroughly stalking you guys on the internet. You both work for Radco, sort of. You do, definitely.
Yep.
So explain your role at Radco today, Travis.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a pretty diverse role. I am the vice president of marketing at Radco Companies, overseeing the Radco platform, but also the founder and CMO of Unmaker Studio.
Yes, which is part of the reason why we're here to talk today. And Cole, what's your role?
So I'm the creative director at Unmaker Studio, and I obviously help out on the Radco side as well, but that's my primary focus.
Were you guys friends before?
We were, yeah.
I can tell.
We've known each other for probably, 3-4 years?
I think 4, maybe approaching 5. Yeah. We've been around the block. We did a sweat lodge Mayan ceremony in Mexico
So you know each other
together.
extremely well.
We have stared into each other's eyes for at least 5 minutes without blinking right on the ocean in Tulum.
That was for a wellness retreat, not just for fun.
Should we do that now? Enjoy the next 5 minutes of silence.
Great podcast
That's
content.
really cool. It's so fun to work with your friends.
Yeah.
It's so nice. And what a great partnership. And obviously, I've seen your work for years. You were Waterton?
Yeah.
And what was it? A GID? You've had... Where did you...
Yeah. So I was at Waterton, Chicago-based, was a director of digital marketing and branding for them on a national level. And then I moved on to be the vice president of marketing and branding at Radco Company, which is a Chicago developer that had a pretty large footprint within Denver, Chicago, Florida, Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to... So you've been doing multifamily marketing for a while. Obviously, you know your stuff, and you come from more of the agency side, creative side. What inspired this? Because I've definitely been on the marketing side, on the operator side, and I want to do it. This is fun. This is the best part of the job. I want to do the branding.
Yeah.
But to actually, and a lot of folks are doing in-house. We talked, Avenue 5 has their agency thought. They have people do it.
Yeah.
But what you're doing is very interesting, and I'd like to hear more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was kind of born out of the idea when I first started at Radco. I brought it up and I said, hey, there is a need within the marketplace to have an agency that's vertically integrated to a multifamily firm that removes the middleman, that understands the nuance of multifamily. And there are some others that are doing it, but they don't really gloat that they're connected and they're vertically integrated. And in reality, that's the true benefit of Unmaker Studio. That's what's made Unmaker Studio special thus far. And even to the point where we've presented creative work to our client, have approved on first rounds because we understand that nuance of multifamily. So it was really born out of that idea.
Yeah, I think Travis and I have worked together in the past, and there was always just areas of opportunity for me to step in with additional strategy and additional consulting that really wasn't a part of, our scope of work or what we were supposed to be working on together. And there was just kind of that piece missing. So when Travis brought me on, we kind of wanted to create an agency that really leaned into understanding the understanding of what it's like to be on the property marketing side. When we are creating brands and, building you all of the brand collateral, we know exactly what you're going to need. We curate our packages because we know how the budgeting process works. When you're creating your marketing budgets, you know exactly all of the assets you're going to need to get your website launched with whichever web partner you're using. So I think there was just that level of creating it operationally to make sense.
Yeah.
But then also just eliminating a lot of the first steps in the discovery process.
Yep.
We need very little information about an asset to brand it because we understand the industry, we understand the markets, we have access to tools on the property management side that allow us to look at demographic data, all of that stuff. And
even just property performance. We have access to CoStar, Axiometrics. So we're able to get into the back end and go, okay.
You got both?
Yeah.
How did you get
we
both?
have both. Lucky enough to have both, I should say. But utilizing those tools to just understand the demographic and how to position and or reposition the community has been so beneficial. It alleviates this back and forth communication of just sitting through a long discovery. And in reality, is what brand really is. It's very opinion based, right?
Yeah.
So when you're talking to a multifamily marketer or a multifamily operator, they're giving you what they would like to see. They're giving you kind of their vision, their idea, and that's still really important. But to really drill in and understand the nitty gritty of who's walking through the door, the objections that they're seeing when they tour the community, et cetera, we're able to take that information and really put it into our brand strategy and create something that's, I think, unique and really focusing on building brands that make placemaking.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it like pitching this idea to the leadership of Radco?
It was actually pretty easy. As funny as it is, I was really passionate about it. And I think at my time at Waterton, I worked very closely with Agency 53. And with that said, we just really built a platform there, a national brand strategy that I thought was unique and innovative for the space. We were taking inspiration from high fashion, e-commerce.
Oh, people talked about Waterton's brand like
Yes.
a lot. Yeah. It had a reputation. It has a reputation.
Yeah, and when I started at Waterton, it was not that. Like, Waterton was a little old school. So there was definitely
You and Tina, the dream team.
Yes, seriously. I mean, me and Tina, when we found each other in the workplace, we just partnered so well together and we were so aligned and we had a vision to do something outside of the multifamily norm.
And she's brilliant too.
Genius. So, and again, I wouldn't be where I'm in my career if it wasn't for Tina. So I reported directly to Tina for years.
Oh, lucky.
So yeah, no, it was one, a great friendship that was created, but two, just an awesome mentor that really pushed me and elevated me from a branding perspective. She grew up at Waterton almost and has a nitty gritty point of view coming from some of the leaders that were just so in tune there. And it kind of trickled down to the rest of our team. And I've taken that and I've put it into anything I've done this far.
Yeah, I mean, having the ability to like really understand real estate leadership and what makes them tick. You're not the first branding agency I've spoken to today. And I've hired branding agencies in my career. I've attempted to be them, like in my own little baby way. And it is a challenging sell to financial people.
Yeah.
When there are so many different things budgets
Yeah.
you write a pro forma for a new development, or it's let's do a refresh. You get $10,000, you get nothing, and you're expected to make magic out of nothing. Tell me about that experience.
Well, I think, a big part of the vertical integration with Unmaker within Radco is when we're branding an asset, we're branding it like we're going to manage it. And similarly, Radco has a huge ownership presence as well as like a third-party manager presence. So they always like to say we manage assets like we own them.
Yep.
That's a great tagline.
And so we kind of, we have a lot of experience with, very small budgets and what I like to say, turning a pumpkin to something, of really like leaning into brand in a cost-effective way, or, innovating an existing brand digitally. So like we don't need to redo all of the signage on site. We don't need to change all of that, but we can make your first impression online look way better by just expanding and like leaning into the design voice and sort of the positioning a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think we can do so in a way, and we have done so with some assets that has like greatly improved their top of funnel traffic, just because we're making that first impression so much better from a top of funnel perspective, that the leads are just starting to flow way faster than they were before.
I mean, you guys are like the Ken folk of real estate right now. That is the vibe I'm getting, at least for the Unmaker brand. It's very elevated. It's very, I don't know, it's just the aesthetic that you'd expect from young people, like young people want. And it's cool. It definitely looks different than the rest.
Well, I think it was a big part of who we wanted to be. We wanted to be disruptors, and that's kind of where the Unmaker name comes from. When we were like brainstorming names, we landed on Unmaker because there were so many like AI type creative platforms where it's like a automatic logo maker, it's like an automatic color palette maker,
You're the analog version.
And we're kind of fighting that. We're saying like there needs to be a human touch and a human aspect. And, you know, a lot of the industry is moving towards innovating with AI and things of that sort. And that's all, you know, great. And I think when it comes to branding, though, that's like really that human connection piece. People want to feel connected to the place that they live. They want to feel like they belong there. And there's still like a human need for that. So we kind of created that whole Unmaker name, and the whole goal was to sort of, you know, destroy normal stereotypes, kind of get a little unconventional with things, and it's been really fun.
So Travis, you and I are very similar in the sense that we have like a million jobs at the same time. What is that like being the VP of marketing? There's a lot that entail like
Absolutely.
a property marketer.
Yeah.
We are expected to be like the most insane generalist. You have
Yep.
to know how to do everything.
You wear multiple hats.
You wear so many hats,
consistently.
and you can't just be like kind of good at everything. You have to like have a
Yep.
deep knowledge of so many different marketing verticals, where a
Yep.
lot of other industries have a specialist for each
It's
of
a
those
subject
roles.
matter expert per category.
You can never be. I mean, you probably are, but how do you manage what you're doing along with being the CMO of a brand new startup creative
Yeah.
agency? What is your like? How do you stay focused? What is your day like?
I mean, it's most certainly not easy. And when I came into Radco, I had a marketing analyst, and it was myself. So when I came into Radco a little over a year ago, it was not only a mission of creating Unmaker and taking it to market, it was also building Radco's property marketing team, their marketing stack, and
Yeah.
rebuilding Radco to generate a new third-party platform that's never been done before for them. So it's not easy, for sure. It's definitely a challenge. And all I can really think at this point is the team underneath me. I have a phenomenal property marketing team that's in place today that really takes a large load off of the property marketing side for me to be able to focus on other higher level initiatives like Unmaker, like Radco Companies, et cetera. But again, in reality, I have everything to thank to Cole, because there would be no Unmaker if there was no Cole. So it's definitely a struggle. It's definitely my team gives me a lot of patience, knowing that I do bounce back and forth. And there are nights that I'm definitely working from 7 a.m. till 8 o'clock at night, trying to figure it out and switching from Radco to my Unmaker hat. But it's fun, and it's definitely enjoyable, but it's some work. It is
Yeah.
a challenge.
Hopefully, you're not pulling those long days forever once things are rolling.
Yeah.
So is Radco, obviously you own and manage, and then you have a very like white glove experience for your fee managed clients.
Yep.
Strategy wise, are you looking to grow more fee manage? Are you looking to build your owned portfolio?
Yeah, so kind of a mix of both. So we own hotels on a national scale, which we've taken some of that strategy and
You
poured
get
that
a
into.
discount?
Yes.
Good.
But we've taken some of that strategy, poured into the multifamily platform. With that said, we do own, so Radco was historically known for value add. They had about 30,000 units. They would buy Class C assets, 70s, 80s vintage products, pour 15 million in.
Vintage is a very nice way of saying.
Yes. And renovate and enhance and sell. Since then, since the pandemic, we've shifted our strategy a little bit, and we're starting to focus on Class A core product.
Gotcha.
So we have 5 Class A assets within the Atlanta market, lease up, high rise, mid rise, et cetera. But the majority of our business today, as we sit, is third-party management. So we're really trying to take the Radco platform, which has been a boutique-style platform, and grow it into the marketplace throughout the Southeast with, an emphasis on building better living.
Is your agency a differentiator when you're going in to do RFPs and pitching?
Absolutely. So not only is Unmaker overseeing the pitch, the creation of the collateral, and being fully in tune with the pitch and the platform that we're selling, we're also selling Unmaker within the pitch. So to be able to have this fully integrated marketing team and agency, top to bottom funnel, like not only are we managing your asset, but we're actually creating the brand for your asset, and we understand the day-to-day nuances. It's been a large benefit, and I think it'll continue to be a benefit. And not even that, we have vertically integrated construction. We have vertically integrated insurance. We have so many other vertically integrated platforms within Radco that we're almost going to market with something unique.
That's really cool. So when you're building all like this package that you're going to basically hand to them on a silver platter, how are you thinking about, I know we're like kind of analog in the Unmaker side, but how are you thinking about your technology and like using that
Yeah.
to elevate your different, like, all the things.
It's a huge piece. I think especially as we enter this economic climate, centralization and technology are on the forefront. And it's about not only figuring out how to do it in an innovative, outside the box way, but figuring out a way to do it that it plays nice with all of your other platforms that we all know within our space don't always play well together.
Yeah. And how are you going and evaluating those new technology vendors?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's really looking at the future. We're looking at what's been done in the past. We're looking at AI. We're looking at centralization, but we're looking at platforms that are willing to co-develop with us, not just getting a platform in place and going, all right, this is black and white. This is what we do, and this is how we're going to do it. Let's get a platform in place and really look at where we can take it together.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very cool. Any final thoughts or things that you want to share with the audience in podcast land?
I would love to plug just one of the unique services that Unmaker offers. So like obviously traditional branding agency, we do, full custom brand explorations, but another exciting product that we're offering is our Unmaker Brand Shop, which is a catalog of pre-made brands for communities that you can just scroll through, pick, purchase, and it's ready within a week. So
Can only one person buy it?
correct.
Okay,
yes. So it's up there. Once one person buys it, it comes with the name. It comes with all of the brand assets. We export everything for you, and it's really been helpful in our pitches because we'll see. Okay, there's a new asset. It's located next to a bunch of hiking trails. We have this like outdoorsy feel brand already in the brand shop. They need to rebrand on day one because they have like an institutional name once we take over, and so. We're able to say, hey, we have this brand already built. Do you like it? Like we can.
I've been under the gun where like we bought a property and we were like, you can have this brand until this date.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is when I was at Waterton, great example. One of our values at Waterton that was a unique twist for us was we would go in within 30 days. With that said, we're buying assets from Wood Partners, et cetera, that come with, the Alta name. Well, you can only have it for 30 days. And it needs to be completely removed from the asset after those 30 days. A typical agency can't whip around a quality brand in 30 days.
Yeah, but you're not doing it in 30 days. You have a whole stockpile of ones that you've been working on.
Yeah.
So this has kind of been the unique approach that we saw. There's a missed opportunity in the marketplace, and we're going to dive into it. Yeah.
That's
so there's a lot of cool stuff in there. We've created we look at different asset types and create a brand for these like imaginary assets that's like versatile and flexible enough to be used at any different asset, but like is intended for a student community or is intended for a BTR community. And obviously we can make some small customizations. You've got, throw some blue in the color palette if it's not already in there. But we can have a quality brand ready for you in a week, and we can like start that whole process of switching everything over so much faster than the industry's been able to do thus far.
It must be so fun building that shop.
It is so fun.
I'm just kind of jealous. Like, you're just, let's have a glass of wine and be like, this will be a 90s property. This will be an outdoorsy property.
Literally, like, I'll get on a one-on-one with Cole and he'll be like, wait, look at this new brand that I came up with last night. And we're both just geeking out like, this is so good.
And you have no one to answer to because people can take it or leave it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been so fun. I do exactly that. I'll like... be scrolling on TikTok, I'll see something that, like the fashion industry or the cosmetic industry is doing with design. I'll get inspired. I'll, pour a glass of wine, sit down and just, let my inspiration flow. And, our designers all like contribute to it. And so it really is kind of just like the best of our best work because it's like what we're most passionate about and it's like our brainchilds. So I think it's like some of the best stuff that we get to do because it's just like all on our own.
Okay, I have something that I just thought of that you remind me of. So I used to, I don't know if you saw this session at AIM years ago, but there's this girl that I moved in. She was like an influencer into a building.
I saw this session at AIM.
So her and I have like remained in touch.
Yeah.
And she is friends with the guy that invented Squarespace, bought it, like Unfold or whatever.
Yeah.
He started a new platform, and it's basically like the aesthetic Pinterest. It's called Cosmos. You should check it out.
Okay, yeah,
I'm an early adopter.
absolutely
Like I
have
signed
to.
up for it right away. I was like, I'm not cool enough for this. This is like built by Gen Z. But I don't actually. I think they might be like extremely young millennial, but it's so like it's just basically a brainstorm of beautiful things, and I just feel like you'd like
That's
it.
awesome.
That's not relevant to any of this, but I just am sitting with you.
Gen Z has been coming out with so many new platforms recently too. There's a new stock photography website called Dupe.
Oh, that's good to know. I use Pexels all the time.
Yeah, well, this one is like specifically like more realistic photography. Like it's a lot of phone photographies, like shoot from the hip kind of stuff that feels natural, feels like something you would have in your camera roll.
Yeah.
Full lifestyle.
Yeah, and it's like when you're using that for social, it doesn't feel like professionally curated. It feels like a true human experience. And so now that Gen Z is getting empowered and they're at that stage in their careers where they're able to like launch these platforms, they're coming out with all kinds of cool stuff. So that's
cool.
another one I'll add to my list. So thank you.
Cosmos. Not relevant for the multifamily industry, but relevant for us, aesthetically.
Yes.
Yes. I just really enjoy your company, and it's so cool to like meet in person and hang out and meet you. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll see you exhibiting at one of these things one day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
you.
Thank you.